What is up, everybody? It is Dead Storm here, and I am bringing you my first ever domination gameplay on Terminal. I think I kind of said that weirdly. It came off the tongue weird. But anyways, it's my first ever domination gameplay on Terminal. Before that, I had the Flawless Moab by my friend Tom Dog. I would call him a friend, I think, because he's a sub. We really don't talk on the streets and all that and do some swaps. I'm not trying to imply that I'm into drugs. That's bad. Very bad. No drugs, just hugs. Let's be happy and smile. Be happy people. I got my teddy bear that I go to sleep with. Did I really just admit that? That's not really an admission. I don't know if admission is really a word that fits that. I'm thinking of like ticket admission. Okay, back on topic. Whatever. My last video was about my friend and the situation that he was in. A lot of you guys said that he should restart a new channel, however bad that might be. He wouldn't be as bad as, just starting out on YouTube. He'd have a solid fan base that would transfer from his channel, but he's looking into Yoush and everything like that, and they require 75k views. He's been doing this for 2 years and has something like 70k views. He got accepted because you can get accepted a little under the requirements he had above the sub limit. It was 1,500 subs. So he's really in a tough spot. He doesn't know if he's going to do the new channel, but I thought I would update you guys on that, and I wish the best for him, as I hope you guys do too. I hate to say it, but enough of that. Let's get into the main topic. What I want to talk about is girls and the high school drama concerning girls, or something like that. I really can't relate to real world girls because ever since I've been in the real world, there's only been one girl. Actually, there was this other girl, but my wife really wouldn't want to hear about that. She knows about the girl. She's heard the stories. She doesn't really watch these videos, though, so I could just say anything. I could be like, well, on the weekends, I meet with these 2 other girls and we hook up. No, I really don't. I have no life. That's why I kind of took the YouTube vacation, Getting off of YouTube and stretching my legs. Really can't walk, though, so I really wouldn't have to stretch my legs. I would have to stretch one leg. Back on topic. Girls, particularly high school girls. When I was in high school, I was that guy that had a lot of friends that were girls. What does that make me? Please don't stereotype. Don't be like, Dead Storm, you're a loser, man. All you did was hang out with girls and you were in the friend zone with all of them, right? Yeah, the friend zone. Lo and behold, the legendary friend zone. If you get put in that, you're pretty much not going to get into the together zone. I call it that. I don't know what it really is. I don't study this stuff too much. Anyways, like I said, I was in the friend zone with a lot of girls. I kind of knew some of the girl talk. I really don't understand them. They're mysterious. They think some weird things. They do some weird things. I don't know what they do in private. Oh my god, that's like all those movies. Wow. Dead Storm, you just got severely perverted a second ago. I should really get out of that. We're talking about high school girls and what they were like. So, anyways, I had my crushes. I had a couple crushes. I had my fair share of unserious relationships that lasted a week. Oh my god, my longest relationship actually was in 4th grade. It was 3/4 of a year. Well, that was before, I got with my wife. We've been together 4 years or something like that. Anyways, like I said, in high school, I was friends with all the girls. I was in the friend zone. Didn't have that many serious relationships. I think the best thing I did was maybe sneak in a kiss here and there. And then, in the movie theater, that moment where you're sitting right next to the chick, but, you're not too comfortable with each other. You're trying to feel out the boundaries and all that, and you're trying to sneak your hand over the side. That's an awkward moment, man. It's the most awkward. I went to her, and I'm like, hey, can I, and I'm like choking on my words half the time. Can I sneak my arm over there? And she's like, oh yeah, sure you can. I'm fine with that. I have a huge crush on you. And then I'm going to dump you because we're rarely in contact. Wow, Dead Storm, you just turned that whole, relationship into something sounding evil as if the girl was a jerk. No. I really kind of was the reason that relationship fell apart and all that ridiculousness. I basically was dating someone that wasn't in the same school district as me, and we only talked on the phone. I really was always home working, you know, if that's any excuse that I really didn't have much of a social life outside of high school. That's terrible, because now I jibber jabber constantly and I'm socializing with all of you, but you're like, Dead Storm, cyber people don't count, man. You're still a loser. Hey, keep it to yourself, man, please. Now, a lot of you listening are probably like, Dead Storm, I can't relate to any of this. I have a 10-pound ball sack. I play JV. I play varsity. I play sports, everything. And I get every chick that I look at. I've got the staff of Jafar from Aladdin. I don't know why. I just compared Disney. Yeah, a lot of you are like, Dead Storm, you're just a nerdy loser. Why did you have to say all that and act like we can relate, right? In high school, there was many different cliques. There was different types of guys, there was different types of girls, there was different types of skies, there was different types of squirrels. Kind of sounded like Dr. Seuss there. I wanted to strive for that, you know. High school, we read a lot of Dr. Seuss. That's bad. Very bad joke. Why was I saying that? That made absolutely no sense. Anyways, as I was saying, there was the different girls. There were the emo girls. You kind of didn't want to be with them. There were the S-word girls. I'm not going to say that word. They pretty much would hook up with you if you kind of looked good or you kind of maybe put something their way. I really don't want to continue with that. And then there was the smart girls that, you know, it took a lot to get involved with them. It took you to really talk and get on a deep level. That's kind of like how the movies are now, you know. Nobody really watches a movie where the girl's like, yeah, man, right away, let's go. Let's do this. Well, maybe some movies, but those are rated R, and a lot of you probably aren't watching it. R movies, maybe. You guys are like, Dead Storm, you're mistreating us, man. I watch rated R movies all the time. Anyways, that is it for this commentary. I hope you guys did enjoy. If you did enjoy, please leave this video a like rating. If you really did enjoy it, please leave the video a favorite. Have a great day, guys, as I will too. There's going to be a part 2 about this. I really liked the topic, and there's so much more I can talk about. Peace, guys.